Good morning, students. I hope you remember what was electrolytic cell. In the first class of electrochemistry, we have done the differences between electrolytic cell and electrochemical cell. So today we will be discussing laws of electrolysis. Faraday's laws of electrolysis. There are two Faraday's laws of electrolysis given. The first law says, you remember what was there in electrolysis? There was a battery and then current was passed through it. Some reactions were happening at cathode and anode. So on that basis, the first law says the mass of the substance deposited, dissolved or liberated. That depends, what type of reaction we are carrying out. Deposited is, at one particular electrode things get deposited. Okay, that is at cathode. Getting dissolved at anode. Liberated is for the gases. So amount of the substances deposited, dissolved or liberated at the respective electrode is directly proportional to how much current we are passing. So if I take, say, one part of this, if more current is passed, more amount will be deposited, dissolved or liberated. So we can mathematically write the first law of Faraday's as M, that is the amount of the substance deposited, is directly proportional to Q. Q is the amount deposited, dissolved or liberated. So I can remove this proportionality sign, put a constant. That constant is Z. It is called as electrochemical equivalent of the substance. That means for different substances that Z will be different. Okay, so M is Z into Q. Further, we can also expand this Q. What is Q? Q is I into T. If I amperes current is passed for some t seconds. Remember one thing, children, you have to always take time in seconds. If it is given hours, if it is given in minutes, you will convert into seconds. So it is M is equal to ZIT finally, because instead of Q I have written here I into T. As Q is equal to IT, I have replaced it. Please mark this. This is a very, very important formula we'll be using for numericals. M is equal to Z into I into T. Now, what is that Z? Formula will be Z is E by F. What is E? E is equivalent weight of that substance. Now, how we calculate equivalent weight? Equivalent weight of the substance is the atomic weight divided by its valency. For example, zinc. Zinc is Zn2 plus. Its atomic mass, the atomic mass of zinc divided by valency for zinc is 2. For copper, atomic weight divided by 2. Likewise. So this will be equivalent weight divided by F. Now what is F? F is Faraday. 1 Faraday is 96,500 coulombs. That we will write. So we can replace it here and write M is equal to E by F I into T. Depending upon what the question demands, we will be using the formula. Now, there are various things. If you remember, one electron carries how much charge? 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So 1 Faraday, that is 96,500 coulomb, is the charge carried by 1 mole of electrons. 1 mole of electron carries this much charge. Or you can say this is also equal to 1 Faraday. So now in this, if I say F is equal to 1, that is 1 Faraday current is passed. If 1 Faraday current is passed, what will be Z? Z will be equal to E. That means we can generalize like that and say 1 Faraday deposits equivalent weight of the substance. If 1 Faraday is there, the current is passed through a particular electrolyte, it will deposit always equivalent weight of the substance. See children, we can define this Z. In this particular formula we wrote M is Z into I into T. If our I is 1 ampere current is passed. for 1 second, we can say M is equal to Z. So we can define electrochemical equivalent as the mass of the substance deposited. It is the mass of the substance deposited when 1 ampere current is passed through the electrolyte for 1 second. Is this clear? So first law of electrolysis, what we have done, M is Z into I into T. We have done what is Z? E by F. If 1 Faraday current is passed, the amount deposited will be equivalent. Clear? Now, second law of Faraday's. Second law of Faraday says if number of electrolytic cells are connected in series, like I have shown you 2 electrolytic cells. One electrolytic cell contains silver nitrate, another contains copper sulfate. If number of electrolytic cells are connected in series and one battery is there and the same quantity of the current is passed through them, then the amount deposited is directly proportional to their equivalent masses. I'll repeat again. When number of the electrolytic cells are connected in series and the same quantity of the electricity is passed through them, then the amount deposited at the respective electrode will be directly proportional to their equivalent masses. Suppose for this particular thing we can have the formula M mass of silver by mass of copper is equal to equivalent weight of silver divided by equivalent weight of copper. So what will be the equivalent weight of silver? 108 is atomic mass of silver divided by 1 because it is Ag plus. This will be copper atomic mass divided by 2 because Cu is 2 plus. Till here it is clear. Now on this basis, you know what variety of numericals you will come across. One category is to calculate the charge required in this particular conversion. For example, you have this. To convert Zn2 plus to Zn. This is under reduction. We can call this as reduction. To reduce one zinc ion to zinc, 1 mole of zinc ion to zinc, how much charge is required? We can see what is the change in the oxidation number. From 2 plus this is becoming 0. That means how many electrons we need to add? 2 moles of electron. 2 moles of electron means how much charge? 2 Faradays. 2 Faradays we can write, or we can write 2 into 96,500 coulomb. Likewise you see Al3 plus 2Al. What is the change in the oxidation number? 3. So you will be adding 3 moles of electron. It appears it is 3 electron, actually it is 3 moles. Don't confuse here. 3 moles of electrons. So how many Faradays are required? 3 Faradays in this case. See, you will also come across this. Say 2 moles of water if we have to convert to oxygen. How much charge is required? Here, first we will balance it. Suppose if I am writing here, let me write it clearly, this H2O forming O2. If I balance for 1 mole of water for this, if I am this is O2, this is O and this is O2, I will balance it. This becomes 2H2O. When I balance it, now you have 2 moles of water here itself. Earlier it was 1. What is the oxidation state of oxygen here? -2. This has become 0. This is 2 moles. So for 1 mole it is -2, say it becomes 0. That means the difference was of 2. So for 2 moles how much? 4. So what will be the answer here? 4 Faradays or 4 into 96,500 coulomb. Similarly, you may also come across one more type of question. To convert 90 gram of water to O2, how much Faraday will be required? You can convert this mass into moles. You know 1 mole of water is 18 gram. So 90 will be divided by 80. You will get this as 5 moles. So 5 moles, you know just now we have calculated for 2 moles this much Faraday, for 5 moles how much Faraday. So please try this type of numerical also. Second category of question what can be asked, that is based on the first law of Faraday. Some copper sulfate solution was given. Say it is electrolyzed for 10 minutes and this much ampere current was passed. Calculate mass of copper in it. So what we will do? See, the data relates to first law. So we will use this Ms E by Fit. We know what is the equivalent mass of copper. 63.5 is the atomic mass. So it will be 63.5 divided by 2. Equivalent weight. 1 Faraday we will write as now 96,500. Faradays we never use in the calculations. We will be converting into coulombs. I is given as 1.5 amperes. Time, the time we will convert into seconds. Always in the calculation time to be converted into seconds. We will calculate, this will give you the mass of copper. So we have used this formula. M is equal to E by F, I into T. Third type of numericals what you will come across is based on second law, which says silver nitrate and say copper sulfate, these two solutions are there connected in series. 2.5 ampere current was passed through that and mass of silver deposited was given, and they are asking for how much time the current was passed and what is the mass of copper deposited. So what we will do, first we will make use of the first law, M is equal to E by F I into T. Because mass of silver was given, we will use this as mass of silver. So equivalent weight of silver we know 108 by 1, 96,500 coulomb. Current is given, mass of silver is given, time we will calculate. That is the first part of the question. In the second part of the question, we will make use of this formula. In that case, we know the mass of silver, mass of copper unknown, equivalent mass of silver was known, equivalent weight of copper is also known. Till here it is clear. So in the assignment, I will give you some more questions for practice.